Let me share my screen. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपीश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we were discussing chapter 12, and where we have seen how Krishna speaks about the progressive path of the bhakti. In the last week we discussed that one, and today we'll continue from text 13 onwards, where Krishna is going to give us the quality of the devotees. So there are two qualities, one is primary and one is secondary. Primary qualities is devotional service, and secondary qualities are everything which helps the devotional service. So Krishna is going to explain your more and more qualities here, how a devotee gets more qualities of this. Like this, the primary goal is basically to do devotional service, and eventually we need to cultivate all these kind of qualities, so that enhances our devotional practice. Let's try to read from the verses. Adeshta
अद्वेष्टा
sarvabhutanam,
सर्वभूतानां
adveshta sarvabhutanam,
अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां
maitrah
मैत्रः
karuna
करुणा
eva
एव
cha,
च
maitriya karuna eva cha,
मैत्रेव करुण एव च
nirmamo
निर्मो
nirankara,
निरहङ्कार
nirmamo nirankaraha,
निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः
sama
समा
dukkha
दुःख
sukha
सुख
kshami,
क्षमी
क्षमा दुःख सुख क्षमी,
समदुःख सुख क्षमी
संतुष्टः
सन्तुष्टः
सततं
सततं
योगी,
योगी
संतुष्टः सततं योगी,
सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी
यतात्मा
यतात्मा
दृढनिश्चयः,
दृढनिश्चयः
यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः,
यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः
मया
मय्या
अर्पिता
अर्पिता
मनो
मनो
बुद्धिर्,
बुद्धिर्
मय्या अर्पिता मनो बुद्धिर्,
मय्या अर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्
यो
यो
मद्भक्तः
मद्भक्तः
समे
समे
प्रियः,
प्रियः
यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः.
यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः.
Let's repeat once again. Advesta sarvabhutanam,
अद्वेष्ट सर्वभूतानां
maitreha karuna eva cha,
मैत्रेयः करुण एव च
निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः
निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः
समो दुःख सुखक्षमी
समदुःखा सुखाक्षमी
सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी
सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी
यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः
यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः
ज्ञार्पितमनोबुद्धिर्यो
मया अर्पिता मनोबुद्धिर्यो
मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः.
मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः.
So this Priya word comes many times in the next 10 verses, 13 to 20. Let's see it. Oh, Adhyasta is non-envious, Sarabhutanam towards all living being, Maitreya, friendly, Karuna, kindly, Eva, certainly, Cha, also, Nirmamoha, with no sense proprietorship, Nirankara, without false ego, Shama, equal, Dukha, in distress, Sukha, in happiness, Kshami, forgiving, Santushta, satisfied, Satatam, always, Yogi, one engaged in devotion, Yata Atma, self-control, Dridhanishchaya, with determination, Mai, upon me, Arpita, engaged, Manah, mind, Buddhi, and intelligence, Yaha, one who, Mad Bhakta, my devotee, Sa, he, me tu, Priya, dear. One who is not envious but is a kind of friend to all living entity, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such devotee of mine is very dear to me. So Krishna is actually glorifying more qualities about the devotees. So earlier he spoke in the previous section we saw Krishna spoke about the different stages of bhakti. I mean, he talks about first, offer everything to, become my pure devotee, and then he comes down to, okay, if you can't do this, offer, offer your mind and intelligence. If you can't do this, then offer your results. If you can do that, then offer activities. In that way, then he says, come to jnana, dhyana, and karma level. So he gives different options. However, now he's going to describe the qualities of these devotees. So what is the quality? He says first one is Advaita Sarabhutanam. The devotees, they are actually non-envious towards all living entity. Not only about devotees, being non-envious to devotees, rather the devotees becomes non-envious to everyone, all the people in this world. Right? Even not only people, even to the animals, to the insects, everything. And he does not think of himself as proprietor. He knows very well that the proprietor is Krishna himself. He has no false ego. What is false ego? The false ego is basically understanding that I am everything. That's a false ego. But at the same time, we understand that I'm not everything. Krishna is there. I'm his servant. And he is equipoised, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, satisfied, self-controlled, and importantly, engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. So in this way, he becomes very dear to Lord Krishna. Prabhupada says in purport that coming again to the point of pure devotional service, the Lord is describing the transcendental qualification of pure devotee in these two verses. A pure devotee is never disturbed in any circumstances, nor he is envious to anyone, nor does a devotee becomes envious his enemy's enemy. even even if he knows that he is my enemy, still he is not become his enemy of his enemy as well. That's the purpose writing here. Okay, let's read the next verse again. It's Krishna going to say more about the qualities of the devotees. Text 5:15. Yashman
यस्मान्
no dijate
नो द्विजते
loko
लोको
यस्मान्नोद्यते लोको
यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको
लोकान्
लोकान्
नोद्विजते
नो द्विजते
च यः
च यः
लोकान् नोद्विजते च यः
लोकान् नो द्विजते च यः
हर्षां हर्ष
हर्षां हर्ष
भयद्वेगैर्
भयद्वेगैर्
हर्षां हर्ष भयोद्वेगैर्
हर्षां हर्ष भयोद्वेगैर्
मुक्त
मुक्तो
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 यः
यः
स
स
च
च
मे प्रियः
मे प्रियः
मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः
मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः
this priya word comes again here as well. Let's repeat once again. Yashmano dvijate loko
यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको
lokano dvijate chayah
लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः
harsham harsha bhayodvegair
हर्षामहर्ष भयद्योगैर्
mukto yasame priyaha.
मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः
Yashmat, from whom na never ujyate or agitated, lokah people, lokat from people, na never ujyate is disturbed, cha also, ya anyone who, harsha from happiness, amrasha distress, bhaya fear, udvegai and anxiety, mukta freed, yah who, sa anyone, cha also, may to me priya very dear. Translation: he by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is dear to me. So again, these are the, moving ahead from the three modes of mental nature. He is not disturbing to anyone, neither he is get disturbed by anyone as well. He remains equipoised in both happiness and distress. So even in fear and anxiety, he is dear to me. So the Krishna is saying what these are qualities of the devotee, and this quality is actually is being explained that this qualities comes up to us gradually depending upon how much we are inclined to a devotional service. So devotional service is the primary, and these are the secondary qualities. So as we have more devotional service, this quality will actually come up gradually and slowly. Right? Rupa says in purport, a few of devotees' qualifications are further being described. No one is put into difficulty and anxiety, fearlessness, or dissatisfaction by such a devotee. Since a devotee is kind to everyone, he does not act in such a way as to put others into anxiety. At the same time, if others try to put a devotee into anxiety, he is not disturbed as well. Right? So he never tried to put anyone in anxiety. At the same time, if someone try to put anxiety on him, he is not disturbed, right? So it is a sama, it's equipoised in everywhere, right? Okay, let's see the next one. These are the qualities basically. Text 16. Anapekshah
अनपेक्षः
शुचिदर्शः
शुचिदर्शः
anupeksha शुचिर्दक्ष
अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष
उदासीनो
उदासीनो
गतव्यर्थः
गतव्यतः
उदासीनो गतव्यर्थः
उदासीनो गतव्यतः
सर्वारंभ
सर्वारंभ
परित्यागी
परित्यागी
सर्वारंभ परित्यागी
सर्वारंभ परित्यागी
यो
यो
मद्भक्तः
मद्भक्तः
समे प्रियः
समे प्रियः
मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः
यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः
अनुपेक्ष शुचिर्दक्ष
अनापेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष
दासीनो गतवत्यः
उदासीनो गतव्यहतः
सर्वारम्भ परित्यागी
सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी
यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः
यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः।
अनपेक्ष neutral suchi pure daksha expert udasina free from care gata vyatha free from all distress sarva arambha of all endeavors parityaga renouncers. Yeah, anyone who madbhakta my devotee sa he me to me priya very dear. Again this word comes same priya, right? So who is dear to Krishna? My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some results, is very dear to me. So they are dependent on Krishna, right? That's the point is. So Prabhupada says in purport that money may be offered to a devotee, but he should not struggle to acquire it. It's basically kind of acquiring money. It's not bad on if you have the opulences, if you have those things by given by the mercy of the Lord, then we should be using it for the Lord service, right? And it's not that he doesn't endeavor much for acquiring question. If automatically by the grace of the Supreme Lord money comes to him, he also not agitated. Doesn't uses this money into a sense gratification, rather uses for Krishna service. Natural devotee takes a bath at least twice in a day and rises early in the morning for devotional service. Thus he is naturally clean both inwardly and outwardly. He's pure, basically clean. A devotee is always expert because he fully knows the essence of all activities of life and he is convinced of authentic scriptures. For this point, we may not have to be a very scholar in a study, but anyone who understand or accept the teachings given by acharyas, who accept authentic scriptures, they are expert in the knowledge of Krishna. Right? That's the essence. Yeah. Yes. Let's the next one. Next qualities. Text 17. Yo
यो
na
न
hrishyati
हृष्यति
na
न
dvesti.
द्वेष्टि
यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि
यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि
न
न
शोचति
शोचति
न काङ्क्षति
न काङ्क्षति
न शोचति न काङ्क्षति
न शोचति न काङ्क्षति
शुभाशुभ
शुभाशुभ
परित्यागी
परित्यागी
भक्तिमान
भक्तिमान्
यह समे प्रिय
या समे प्रियः
यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि
यो न हृदयष्टि न द्वेष्टि
न शोषति न काङ्क्षति
न शोचति न काङ्क्षति
शुभाशुभ परित्यागी
शुभाशुभ परित्यागी
भक्तिमान यह समे प्रिय
भक्तिमान् या समे प्रियः
यह one who na never hrishyati takes pleasure, na never grieves, na never shochati na never kankshati desires, Subha of the auspicious Ashubha and the inauspicious, Parityagi, renouncer, Bhakti Mam, devotee, Yaha, who Sha, he is, me to me, Priya, dear. It's again this also is coming with the name Sami Priya. Translation: one who neither rejoices nor grieves, one who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. It's a very nice one. How to understand auspicious and inauspicious, right? A pure devotee is neither happy nor distressed over material gain or loss, right? Nor he is very much anxious to get a son or disciples, nor he is disturbed by not getting them. So anything is what comes by accord, it's all good. But if it goes away, he's not disturbed with that. If he just anything which is very dear to him, he does not lament. Similarly, if he does not get what he desires, he is not distressed. He is transcendental in the face of all kinds of auspicious, inauspicious, and sinful activities. And he is prepared to accept all kinds of risk for satisfaction of Supreme Lord. Right. So it's being says even if you do any auspicious activities or inauspicious activities, and if you are not working for Krishna consciousness, is both are inauspicious in one sense. Even we have many the materially we may be very highly educated, high birth, we may have many good wealth, but this we can say these are auspicious because okay, I have good wealth, I have good education, everything is all there, it might be called as auspicious. But if you are not utilizing that for the Krishna service, it is actually inauspicious. Why? Because that what we have got, the high birth, high education, or high everything, that is not going to take us beyond this material world. As soon as we give up this body, we take birth again, and everything is lost. But auspiciousness is the best auspicious is to engage ourselves in Krishna consciousness, because even if we give up this our body, the activities which we have performed for the service of the Lord is taken to our next stage, and it elevates us towards the spiritual kingdom. Right. So these auspicious inauspicious things are material things. Even they don't worry about that. Yeah. Yeah, Prabhupada says another line, nothing is an impediment in the discharge of his devotional service. Like either it is auspicious or inauspicious, or have material gain or material loss or anything. These are not the impediment in the discharge of devotional service for the devotees, and that devotee is very dear to Lord Krishna. And these are very nice verses to meditate on, to read on every day, isn't it? From 13 to 20, so that we know how can we become dear to the Lord. As I said earlier, the primary is devotional service, discharge of devotional service, and the secondary are these all qualities. If you can cultivate these qualities, these are very good for advancement in our devotional service. Okay, text 18 and 19. Samaha,
Samaha,
Sautro,
Satro,
Cha,
Cha,
Mitre,
Mitre,
Cha,
Cha,
Shama, Sautro, Cha, Mitre, Cha,
Samaha, Satru, Cha, Mitre, Cha,
Tatha,
Tata,
Manapamanayoh,
Manapamanayoho,
तथा मान अपमानयोः
Tata, Manapamanayoho,
शीतोष्ण
Sitoshna,
सुख
Sukha,
दुःखेषु
Dukkeshu,
शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु
Sitoshna, Sukha, Dukkeshu,
समः
Samaha,
संग
Sangha,
विवर्जितः
Vivarjitaha,
संग विवर्जितः
Samah, Sangha, Vivarjitaha,
तुल्य
Tulya,
निंदा
Ninda,
स्तुतिर
Stutir,
मौनी
Mauni,
तुल्य निंदा स्तुतिर मौनी
तुल्यानिन्दस्तुतिर्मौनी
संतुष्टो
सन्तुष्टो
येन
येन
केनचित्
केनचित्
संतुष्टो येन केनचित्
सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित्
अनिकेतः
अनिकेतः
स्थिरा
स्थिरा
मतिर्
मतिर्
अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्
अनिकेतः मतिर्
भक्तिमान्
भक्तिमान्
मे
मे
प्रियो नरः
प्रियो नरः
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः.
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः.
Let's repeat once again. समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च
समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च
तथा मानापमानयो
तथा मानापमानयो
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु
समः सङ्गविवर्जितः
समः सङ्गविवर्जितः
तुल्यानिन्दस्तुतिर्मौनी
तुल्यानन्दस्तुतिर्मौनी
तुष्ट येन केनचित्
सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित्
अनिकेतः स्थितिर्मतिर्
अनिकेतः स्थितर्मतिर्
अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्
अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः.
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः.
Samah equal shatrau to an enemy, cha also mitre to a friend, cha also tatha so mana in honor, apamanayo and dishonor, sita in cold, ushna heat, sukha happiness, dukheshu and distress, samaha equipoised, sanga vivarjitah free from all association, tulya equal, ninda in defamation, stuti stuti and repute, mauni, silent, santushta, satisfied, yena kenachit, with everything, with anything, aniketa, having no residence, thira, fixed, mati, determination, bhaktiman, engaged in devotion, me, to me, priya, dear, narah, amen. Translation: one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who does not care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service. Such a person is very dear to me. Again, Krishna talking more about equipoised, right? Equipoised in honor, dishonor, heat and cold, happiness, distress. Earlier also he speaks about the loss and gain, right? Auspicious, inauspicious. However, point is who is engaging in devotional service. A devotee is always free from all bad association. This is very important point actually. Association is the one. I was hearing a lecture, I think couple of days back, maybe I think the last week, in fact. So association is again and again is being said that association is very important thing. Though Radhashyam Prabhu says about ABCD of Bhakti, ABCD and E. A stands for association, right? So B is book, C is chanting holy name, and D is the diet, and E is engaging ourselves in this all four. So association is very important. Uh, it's the devotee was saying nicely that if you want to associate, if you want to start drinking liquor, you need association, right? Anything if you want to do, you need association. In the similar way, if to become a devotee, you need association of the devotees. Actually, there's a verse actually in the shastra. It says bhaktistu bhakta sangena parijayate, bhaktistu bhakta sangena parijayate. So bhakti is carried through association of the association of the devotees. So so that's why a devotee is always free from all bad association, right? So we need to very much careful about our association, how association is happening. So sometimes one is praised and sometimes one is defamed. That is the nature of human society. But a devotee is always transcendental to the artificial fame and infamy, distress and happiness. He knew very well that this fame, infamy, distress, happiness is actually just for this life, right? And he is very patient. He does not speak of anything but the topics about Krishna. Therefore, he is called silent. So silent is doesn't mean so some you know yogi they practice to do silent like not speaking anything, and Prabhupada says that's not good. So the silence means you should not be speaking prajalpa, you should not be making gramya katha. So there's a verse comes in Charitamrita, grama katha na karibe na grama katha na sunibe. So grama katha should not speak grama katha, the prajalpa, and should not hear grama katha as well, the prajalpa. Last week, I think not last week, yeah, last week Friday, Saturday, His Holiness Dhyananda Maharaj was in Glasgow in our program, and he was saying that it's being described that if someone speaks to you about something, then we should be asking three things about the topic. If it's not about Krishna, then first is it a fact or is it true? If the thing is completely true or fact, then it's okay, we can proceed to our next question. If that's not true, then it's not beneficial for me to hear, isn't it? And the second, he says that if the thing is true, then the second is it going to benefit me or not, right? So is it beneficial for me? If not, then there is no use of hearing it. Like, let's for example, is X person speaks something about Y persons to Z person. So the Z person has no interest or no point of understanding about the quality or bad or thing about the X person, right? So X speaking to Z, he's speaking to Z about Y. So there is no point of Z knowing about Y. So that's how you should be checking: is it right, and is it beneficial for me or not? If you are not, it's not true and it's not beneficial for me, then there is no point of hearing about me. It's waste of time for you and waste of time for me as well, right? That's why it says prajalpa, you should not be niyamagra. The prajalpa, we should not be doing prajalpa, right? This Prabhupada writes here, silent doesn't mean that one should not speak. Silent means that one should not speak nonsense. One should speak only of essentials, and the most essential speech for the devotee is to speak for the sake of Supreme Lord. Right? I think I need to go through all these qualities again and again and again. And we need to basically it's very basically for every one of us, and more I'll say it's about me. So I should be going through these verses again and again and understanding this in practice as well. It's not just about philosophical thing, it's bringing practice to be trying to avoid from chapter. That's that association, right? Okay, so I think this is the last verse. Yeah, I think I want to read one more thing here, Ajay. Yeah, Prabhupada says here that uh, without good qualification, one cannot be a pure devotee. Harau abhaktasya kuto mahad guna. One who is not a devotee has no good qualification. And one who wants to be recognized as a devotee should develop the good qualification. Of course, he does not extraneously endeavor to acquire this qualification, but engagement in Krishna consciousness and devotional service automatically helps him to develop them. So, as I speak in the very first thing, that uh, primary qualities and secondary qualities. Primary quality is to perform devotional service, and secondary qualities are all those things which will come up gradually and gradually. We need to endeavor definitely. We need to be careful about our own behavior, like speaking, like reacting with other things, or trying to being equipoised. Definitely, we need to put an effort towards those, but at the same time we not to forget that we need to perform our devotional service, and performing devotional service will help us to recognize our faults. So it's very very easy to see faults in other people, but become very difficult to see faults in our own self, isn't it? Once, I think Vishnu Pitama, he sent uh, Arjun, Duryodhana to find who is the best person in the kingdom. And Duryodhana went and say, no, he says, I could not find anyone best than me. He's the best person. And then uh, he sent Yudhishthira Maharaj saying that, okay, you go and find the worst person in the kingdom. And Yudhishthira Maharaj come back and says that, there is no one worse than me. So basically, it's humility, right? Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying everyone is more qualified, more better than him. And at the other hand, Duryodhana being proud, he's saying sees everyone as lower than him, right? So it's about because of a devotion, right? Definitely, it's not so easy. Everyone is a different person, and everyone has different qualities. And gradually, by practicing devotional services, automatically we can have those good qualities. But at the same time, we need to endeavor. So I said earlier, these good qualities will come to us depending upon the intensity of our devotional service towards Lord. Right. Okay, so let's try to cover text 20. So from text 13 to text 20, Krishna is saying about the good qualities of the devotees. Text 20, the last one of this chapter. Ye
Ye
tu
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 dharmamritam
dharmam
yatam
idam.
idham
yadam
Ye tu dharmamritam idam
ye tu dharmamrutam idham
yathoktam
yatoktam
paryupasate.
paryupasate
Yathoktam paryupasate.
yatoktam paryupasate
Shraddhana saddhana
shraddadana
matparama.
matparama
Shraddhana matparama
shraddadana matparama
bhaktas
bhaktas
te
te
tiva
tiva
me priya.
me priya
Bhaktas te tiva me priya.
bhaktaste tiva me priyah
Ye tu dharmamritam idam
ye tu dharmarthanam idham
yathoktam paryupasate.
yatoktam paryupasate
Shraddhana matparama
shraddadana matparama
bhaktas te tiva me priya.
bhaktaste tiva me priyah
See, this Priya word comes in every verse from text 13 to text 20. Right? For all 7 8 verses, Krishna is speaking about the Priya. How the devotee can become dear to Krishna, or how Krishna is more dear to the devotees. Yea, those who do but dharma of religion, amritam, nectar, idam this yatha as Uktam said, Parupasate, completely engaged, Shraddhadhanam, with faith, Mat Parama, making me the Supreme Lord as everything, Bhakta, devotees, they, Etiva, very, very, me too, me, Priya, is dear. So, essence, those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. All the verses comes up dear to me. Now it's coming very, very dear to me because it's the path of devotional service. Right? Ativa means it's more. It's more emphasis on that word now. It's very, very dear to me. So the path of devotional service is so sublime that Krishna is becomes very, very dear to the devotees. and the devotees becomes very dear to Krishna both way as well. So in where I was reading, I'm just forgetting, but the point was the devotees are known because of Lord, and the Lord is known because of the devotee. So both are they both cannot exist without each other, right? So Lord's glorify devotees, and devotee devotee glorifies the Lord, and Lord reciprocates the devotee. Lord gives the opportunity for a devotee to glorify, like we are discussing in Bhagavatam, Bhishmadev. So Bhishmadev was lying on his bed, and Krishna brought Pandavas there, and all the sages, all the devatas, they assembled there to hear the glorification of Lord by Bhishmadev, right? And hence Bhishmadev was glorified, saying that Bhishmadev pacified Yudhishthira Maharaj, right? So that's how the devotees and devotees and the Lord both are actually the life and soul of each other, right? So Prabhupada says in purport that in this chapter, from verse 2 through the end, from Maya Avesha Mano Ye Mam, fixing the mind on me, through Ye Tu Dharmamritam Idam. Dharmamritam is this religion of eternal engagement. The Supreme Lord has explained the process of transcendental service for approaching Him. That's why this chapter is called as devotional service, or essential chapter. This is all the everything. This section, middle section, chapter number 7 to 12 is the Bhakti Yoga, and this is the last chapter of that, right? So such process is very, very dear to the Lord, and He accepts a person. So the question of who is better, who is engaged in the path of impersonal Brahman, or one who is engaged in the personal service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was raised by Arjuna in the very, very beginning of this chapter, and the Lord replied him so explicitly that there is no doubt that devotional service to the Personality of Godhead is the best of all process of spiritual realization. This is the essence, isn't it? Arjuna starts with the question, what is better, worshipping impersonal or personal? And Krishna elaborate in this chapter saying that worshipping me directly in devotional service is the best, and they are dear to me. And that's how we end chapter 12. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 12 chapters of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of devotional service. Next week we'll continue chapter 13, which is Jnana Yoga, chapter 13 to chapter 18. Hare Krishna. Any quick questions, thought, doubt, please we can discuss. Else we'll discuss on next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की
Jai.
Jai.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
Jai.
Jai.
हरे कृष्ण.